All right, so get this. Today we're doing a deep dive on diaper need.
Diaper need?
Yeah, diaper need right here in the U.S.
Wow. Right.
It's not something you think about every day, but when you hear the scope of this issue, it's really pretty shocking.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So we're going to be diving into the work of this organization, Baby2Baby, and they are tackling diaper need in some seriously impressive and innovative ways.
Okay, so tell me more about this. Like, what is the scope we're talking about here?
Well, like you said, it's easy to think about diapers as just a given right. Every baby needs them.
Right.
But the reality is 1 in 2 families in the U.S. struggle to afford enough diapers for their children.
1 in 2.
1 in 2. Can you imagine?
Wow. I mean, that's a huge number. I had no idea.
It's a massive problem that's pretty much hiding in plain sight.
And I'm guessing it's not just about the cost of the diapers themselves, right? It has this ripple effect.
Exactly. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
Imagine being a parent and having to choose between like buying diapers or putting food on the table for your kids.
Oh, gosh, I can't even imagine.
Or, diapers or rent. These are impossible choices that families are facing every single day.
It's heartbreaking.
It really is. And it's this cycle of poverty that is so hard to break free from. If you can't afford diapers, you can't enroll your child in daycare.
Right.
And if you don't have access to childcare, you can't find or hold down a job. It's just this impossible catch-22.
Absolutely. And that's where I'm guessing this Baby2Baby comes in.
You got it.
Yeah.
So Baby2Baby was founded by Nora Weinstein and Sawyer Patricof, and they are on this mission to give low-income families all those basic necessities that they need to thrive.
And what's the story behind these two? Were they always involved in this kind of work?
It's interesting. They're kind of a power duo. One's a lawyer, the other is a former model. So not your typical nonprofit founders.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So how did they get involved in this specific issue? Diaper need seems pretty niche.
Well, what I love about them is that they didn't come in with any preconceived notions. They went straight to the source. They listened to the families they wanted to help and asked, what do you need?
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, so Baby2Baby was built from the ground up based on these real-life experiences.
So they really let the needs of the families guide their work.
Exactly. And that firsthand understanding really shines through in everything they do, even from the very beginning. Get this. Their first major donation was 100,000 diapers.
Wait, 100,000 diapers?
2,000 diapers. Can you imagine?
That's a mountain of diapers. Where did they even put them?
Well, picture this. They had this tiny storefront at the time, and the diapers arrive on pallets, filling up the entire space.
No way, that's incredible. I have to laugh imagining that, though. Just mountains of diapers.
Right. Nora and Kelly, both in heels, unloading this massive truck with their one and only intern.
You couldn't make this stuff up.
You really couldn't. But it just goes to show you, even the most impactful journeys often have these small and kind of scrappy beginnings.
Absolutely. You've got to start somewhere.
Right.
There's still 100,000 diapers right off the bat. That's not just luck. That tells me they had a plan.
Oh, for sure. That massive diaper donation didn't happen by accident. That's them being strategic from day one. So how did they swing 100,000 diapers for their first donation? It's a great story.
Okay, let's hear it.
It all started with a single photo. Jessica Alba and Nicole Richie supporting Baby2Baby early on. Someone at Huggies saw it, and I guess the rest is history.
Wow, celebrities really do have power.
They really do. And talk about putting that influence to good use, right?
Yeah.
This is a perfect example of how, one small action can have this massive ripple effect.
Totally. And it seems like that's kind of Baby2Baby's whole thing. They're masters at figuring out how to maximize their impact.
Totally. And they didn't just stop at distributing these diapers. They took it a step further and got really creative with their whole approach.
Like what? What'd they do?
Okay, so get this. They started manufacturing their own diapers.
Wait, what? Hold on. I need to process that for a second.
Yeah.
They make their own diapers.
They do.
Okay, why? I mean, it's brilliant, but how did that even come about?
Well, they realized that traditional diapers have all this extra stuff.
Yeah, all the bells and whistles.
Exactly. And those add to the cost. But when your goal is just to get high quality diapers to families who desperately need them, you can cut out all those unnecessary extras.
So it's all about streamlining the design and making it as cost effective as possible. I love that.
And the cost savings are unbelievable. They were able to produce their own diapers at 80% less than the retail price.
80%? Are you serious?
I'm telling you, every dollar goes so much farther when you can do that.
Absolutely. And they were able to help even more families because of it.
That's amazing.
Okay,
but I gotta ask, this whole luxury diaper campaign with Gwyneth Paltrow, where does that fit in?
Oh my gosh. How could we forget about that? A $120 diaper made with alpaca fur and diamonds. Talk about making a statement. It was genius. totally out there, but it got everyone talking.
Exactly. And that was the whole point. It was designed to spark outrage over the fact that in a lot of states, diapers are taxed as luxury items.
It's crazy. These are essential items for survival we're talking about, not luxury goods.
I know, it's absurd. But the best part is the campaign worked. 7 states have repealed those diaper taxes since then, and a lot of that is thanks to Baby to Baby.
That's what I'm talking about. Sometimes a little creative disruption can lead to some really big changes.
For sure. But I also know not every day is like a glamorous photo shoot or, a viral campaign. Building something as impactful as this takes a lot of work. There's got to be challenges along the way.
Right. You make a good point. There are always hurdles.
So did Nora and Kelly talk about any of the tough stuff, the setbacks?
They did. They were very open about it. They talked about the no days, the ones where you just hit wall after wall, grant applications, fundraising pitches, partnerships that fall through.
I can only imagine. How do you even pick yourself up from that when you're so personally invested in the mission?
Yeah, they said they just try not to take it personally.
Yeah.
They see it as a them problem, not an us problem. The need is still there, and they believe in what they're doing, so they just keep pushing forward.
You got to admire that. That level of resilience is amazing.
Yeah.
So besides those no days, did they mention any other big obstacles they had to overcome?
Well, they talked about this one really tough decision they had to make. They had to stop accepting used goods.
Really? Why'd they do that?
Well, in the beginning, they loved the idea. Families passing on gently used items to other families in need.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's a beautiful concept.
Absolutely. But they quickly realized that in order to scale their operations, to reach over 1 million children, they needed a different system.
Ah, I see. So using only donated goods wasn't going to cut it.
Exactly. They needed to be able to guarantee the quality and the safety of every item they distribute. And logistically, relying solely on used goods just wasn't sustainable.
So as much as they loved the idea, it wasn't scalable.
Yeah, they had to make a tough choice. But that's part of growth sometimes, right? Letting go of something you love to achieve an even greater impact. And speaking of impact, their work goes way beyond just everyday needs. They're doing some incredible stuff with disaster relief as well.
So it's not just about sending boxes of stuff after a hurricane or a wildfire. They're really thinking strategically about how to best support these communities.
Yeah, they understand that every disaster is different, right? Every community has different needs. So just having like a one-size-fits-all approach just isn't going to cut it.
Right. It's not very helpful to just show up with a truckload of something that nobody even needs.
Exactly. So they focus on listening to the people on the ground, the ones who already live and work in these communities and really understand the specific challenges they're facing.
So they're partnering with local organizations who are already doing the work.
Yeah, they're all about collaboration.
Yeah.
It's much more effective than just trying to do everything themselves.
Makes sense. And it seems like that approach really paid off with their response to the wildfires in Maui.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was incredible. They were already working with a partner organization in Hawaii.
Really?
Yeah. And get this, they had actually just sent a shipment a few days before the fires broke out.
Wow, talk about being in the right place at the right time. So they were able to jump into action immediately.
Yeah. They were able to provide immediate relief to families who had lost everything. I mean, they already had those relationships established and the resources in place.
Yeah.
It made a huge difference.
That's incredible. And I know it wasn't just about those immediate needs either, right? Like getting food and water and shelter to people. They were thinking long-term too.
Oh, for sure. They know that the recovery process after a disaster takes time. It doesn't just end when the news cameras leave.
Exactly.
So they're committed to providing support for as long as it takes for those communities to rebuild.
That's so important. I mean, the trauma of going through something like that, it takes time to process and to heal, and having that ongoing support can make all the difference.
Absolutely. And again, they were able to leverage their network to make a real impact. Matthew McConaughey and Camilla Alves, they're big supporters of Baby to Baby.
Right. I remember hearing about that.
Well, they stepped up big time. They donated a significant amount of money to fund a cargo plane full of essential supplies for Maui.
That's amazing. That's incredible generosity. And then didn't Matthew share a video with his son encouraging others to get involved?
Yes, he posted it online and, of course, it went viral. People love Matthew McConaughey. And he spoke so genuinely about the importance of supporting organizations like Baby to Baby, especially in times of crisis.
It's a powerful reminder that we all have something to contribute. You don't have to be a millionaire or a celebrity to make a difference. And that really brings us back to the heart of what we've been talking about today. What can our listeners do if they want to get involved and support Baby to Baby's mission?
Well, the great thing is there are so many ways to help. And Nora and Kelly really emphasize that no donation is too small.
That's right. Every little bit helps.
Exactly. Whether it's $5 a pack of diapers or even just sharing their message on social media, every action has an impact.
And for those who maybe want to do a little bit more, they have volunteer opportunities at their warehouses in Los Angeles and New York City.
Yes. And if you don't live near either of those cities, you can sign up for their Family to Family program.
Oh, yeah. Tell me a little bit more about that. How does that work?
It's really cool. You basically get to shop for a family in need. They provide you with a list of the family members and their ages and sizes.
So it's super personalized.
Yeah, you get to pick out clothes and toys and books specifically for them. It's a really special way to connect with the people you're helping.
I love that. Such a personal touch. And it's a great way to get your kids involved too, right? Like they can help pick out things.
Exactly. It's a wonderful way to teach kids about empathy and giving back from a young age.
Speaking of kids, Nora and Kelly are both moms themselves, right? And they talk about how important it is to instill that culture of giving back from the very beginning.
Absolutely. They even wrote a children's book about it. It's this sweet story about a little girl who learns about the importance of helping others. And it teaches kids that even small actions can make a big difference.
I love that. It's never too early to start having those conversations with kids about empathy and compassion and the importance of giving back. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the world of Baby to Baby, I'm feeling really inspired by the work they're doing. It's amazing to see an organization tackling such a critical issue with so much heart and ingenuity.
Me too. It's a reminder that even in the face of really tough challenges like poverty and inequality, there are people out there who are working tirelessly to make a difference. And they're succeeding.
Absolutely. So thank you for listening to this deep dive into Baby to Baby. We hope you learned something new today, and more importantly, we hope you are inspired to take action.